Discussion posts, homework, papers, tests, Dr. Linehan's endlessly informative PowerPoint lectures. This is the situation I find myself in weekly, overwhelmed and stressed to accomplish everything. That's not even taking into account working full time, maintaining a household, and other responsibilities. While I am fortunate enough to live at home, I attend college and have a routine and de-stressors here, most students go away to school for their college career. Many crack under the pressure of balancing studies, being away from home for the first time, and fitting in with peers. Students need a source of comfort and relaxation. This is Cricket. Sorry it's so dark. She's my de-stressor. When I need a break from school stress or information overload, she helps me unwind. It is a proven fact that animals help decrease people's stress levels. So why not allow animals on college campuses through animal shelters? While college campuses around the country have different qualities to offer students, they all have one common characteristic: the stress levels of those students. With higher education being so important in society, college students often find themselves cracking under pressure. Whether it is from the late night studying for multiple tests, working on projects, being away from home for the first time, or even just the mere price of college and economic struggles, students have little choice but to face this stress, sometimes in negative ways. It has been found that students today have the same stress and anxiety levels as the average psychiatric patient in the 1950s. With students dropping out of school and being diagnosed with anxiety, substance abuse, depression, and even cardiac health issues, many parents are beginning to have a greater concern for what can be done to help the younger generation. Looking into this issue, many studies have concluded that animals can help reduce stress and be a source of comfort and support. For example, Emory University is one of the many universities that are trying to take action by having dogs on campus during exam week, as well as in counseling centers. By putting an animal shelter on college campuses, students can relieve some of the stress they might have in a healthy way, by therapy time, caring for or playing with dogs and cats, along with possibly providing more job opportunities on campus. Even Stotzenberger College allows staff to bring in their dogs on Fridays, and it is apparent how enjoyable and stress-reducing this is for people on campus. No matter what college a person attends, stress will be an inevitable part of their life. However, due to the current economic state that the country is in, there is more stress on today's generation than there ever has been. Because of this, many people are having a hard time finding a job. Since the employers who are hiring have a large selection of applicants to select from, they will only want the best. For this reason, college education is necessary. However, this has caused students to put more stress on themselves to excel. Overwhelmed students consider dropping out. One study concluded that the more stress a student is under, the more likely they are to drop out. As a result of educational stress, retention rates will drop, something that no university wants to hear. Finding ways to reduce some of the stress the future generation is under will help maintain high retention rates and a well-educated society, not to mention the well-being of the students. A fantastic way to ensure that the well-being of students is being thought of and addressed is to have animals on college campuses. Most, if not all, people are drawn to animals. It was found that people with companion animals reported having lower anxiety reactions during stressful times. Animals are sources of support and a safe haven for most people and have a positive impact on one's emotional well-being. No matter what kind, animals are almost always happy. They detect when something is wrong and they do what they can to comfort those in pain. Dogs especially are most commonly used as therapy animals in hospitals, nursing homes, hospice centers. So what's not to say they'd be beneficial for younger people coping with anxiety? One study conducted around college campuses said many college students are separated from their animals upon arrival at college, and thus lose access to this source of comfort from home. For many students, the loss of comfort can be a large part of the stress they experience while away from home. Those who left pets at home know they could turn to their furry friends before, but now that they are separated, they do not have that sense of comfort. Who do they turn to when they are stressed and anxious? Freshmen especially could benefit from animals on campus, as they are pressured to fit in and make friends, therefore do not want to seem weak to others by having a breakdown from stress or dropping out. By having animals on campus, students who lost that home comfort can once again have an animal friend to brighten their day. For students who did not come from a home with animals, college advisors can suggest this form of therapy to stressed out students. If an animal shelter is on campus, not only will they help students emotionally, but they also provide a chance for new job opportunities. With college tuition costing so much, many students get jobs while on campus to have some source of income throughout the year or to offset college costs. Having an animal shelter on campus gives students a different kind of job opportunity rather than the traditional jobs one might find on campus. Shelters on college campuses could provide first-hand experience for those students whose degrees deal with animals. Campus animal shelters also provide a chance to welcome the outside community onto campus. By doing this, the college community and the outside community have the possibility to bond and come together. Having this bond can lead to community service days, volunteer options, and even job offers for students who have made good connections with outside people. Not to mention finding homes for animals in need. Bringing in animal shelters to college campuses will also stimulate the economy this way. By adopting the animals at the shelter and then buying the continued supplies and food the animal needs, the economy will improve with the extra spending. Before animal shelters can be introduced to college communities, a series of steps could be taken. To begin, students should be surveyed to ensure that this is something they would want. Secondly, a mission statement should be written that encompasses the ultimate goal to be met. Next, a board of directors should be created. The board will oversee everything that the organization does, and they are in charge of fundraising, planning, and keeping track of the animals. An official plan should be drawn up and presented to school board for their approval. Upon approval from the school, it is important that someone from the board of directors contacts either the Secretary of State or the Attorney General's office to set up the right paperwork for donation and tax purposes. It is also important to start to get the word out in the community for funding. Once the staff is hired, all must complete proper animal training. College campuses offering degrees relating to veterinary studies could have core veterinary teaching staff help to run the shelter, while veterinary students or students seeking other degrees volunteer their time. The final step to opening animal shelters on college campuses is to build the shelter itself and bring in the animals. Student-only therapy hours can be set up just for playtime or chore time, as well as hours the public may come in for adoptions. Although some schools may not like the idea of animal shelters on campus, they cannot deny that it would benefit students, and neither can you. Some schools in the nation, like Emory University, Ohio University, and even Harvard and Yale, all have some form of animal therapy or animal shelters on campus. By looking at these schools as examples, it can be seen that animals on college campuses do work. It was also recorded that many college campuses bring dog therapy to the students near the end of a semester when they are feeling more stressed due to exams. It only makes sense then for college universities to continue this practice year-round in an effort to reduce stress. By putting animal shelters on campuses, not only is the well-being of students being met, it also creates other positive results. More job opportunities, stimulation of the economy, gives the university an advantage point for prospective students when they are considering what school to attend. I know I would consider a school that had an animal shelter on it. Even though opening animal shelters on college campuses provides so many advantages, there are a few concerns people have. For instance, some people believe that students should go to the counseling center or talk to an appropriate human professional when they are stressed or have other major issues going on. These people feel that animal therapy would be replacing counseling, which is not true. While animal therapy is great for many reasons, when there is a serious problem, the counseling center would deal with the issue. The animal shelter and counseling center could work together to help those in need. Animal shelters would provide temporary relief, while counseling centers would help with more serious issues. Another concern that people had with shelters on campuses was that some students have allergies to cats or dogs. While the health of students is important, it is simply up to the students to know what they can and not handle when with animals. If their allergies are bad, then it would be suggested that that person do not go to the shelter where they might have an allergic attack. What can you do? Petition for a new shelter on your campus. If your campus is already near an animal shelter or is not big enough for its own, contact a close one and see if there are ways they can work with the college to get students involved or schedule some therapy time. By placing animal shelters on campus, students will be able to reduce their stress levels in a safe and healthy way, and universities will be bettering the student population through new job opportunities, as well as providing a chance for animals to be adopted into loving homes. Who wouldn't want to take a break from stressful midterm studying or finals to unwind with a puppy or a kitten?